Welcome back to BBN After Dark. We are here for the March and April awards. Robbie Floyd and Brandon Burnstill. And Bernie, let's go ahead and start with the MVP from March and April. Didn't get a whole lot of games in, but this guy was still managed to put up monster stats, including 4 home runs. And this guy, absolute beast, a multi-time hitter of the month MVP. It's Rudy Montenegro Langley. Bernie, this guy certainly no stranger to the MVP award. Came out. Didn't start slow, has not been affected by the rainouts, has not thrown off his rhythm at all. All he's done, Bernie, is hit. Tell me about Rudy Montenegro Langley, another Hitter of the Month MVP award.
Yeah, Rudy has been just straight up monster of the year. He's been the head of the offense for the team. Guy already has 4 home runs, only striking out once on the season, 3 walks just to 1 strikeout with all that power, for a total of 9 extra base hits to start the season. So, the first 13 games or so, Rudy's been on a roll. He's also stepped up in all 3 facets of the game on the mound as well as behind the plate.
Yeah, Rudy Montenegro Langley. We've heard his goal for the year to hit 30 home runs. And how many games have you played, Bernie?
13.
13. So he's 4 home runs already in 13 games. Certainly, a great start to the year in terms of that home run pace. We'll see if he can keep that rolling. But he is the MVP for March and April. In second place, Bernie, another guy who's a big home run hitter. Hamilton Case has come out the gates. 2 home runs to start the season, an OPS over 1,400. This guy, Bernie, we've known the potential that's been there, especially from the power department, but he's really put it all together. And again, Bernie, this is a guy who's a 12U player playing 13U and still dominating offensively. Bernie, give me your thoughts about Hamilton Case here, March, April MVP runner-up.
Yeah, this guy, I think it's a good argument to make. 32 Floyd's been the best team so far in the Bears, and this guy's, been the best hitter on that team. Already checking in with, let's see here, 6 extra base hits, including the 2 home runs he had in the one weekend. And also, again, another guy with 7 walks and only 4 strikeouts. So you're seeing the power, you're seeing the consistency, and he's not striking out a lot. It seems like he's just a more complete hitter than he has been in years past.
Yeah, Bernie, you said it. 7 strikeouts to 6 extra base hits. 7 walks, 6 extra base hits, just 4 strikeouts. That is very, very impressive numbers. This is a guy doing it in all 3 facets as well, Bernie. He's pitched well out of the bullpen. He's played amazing defense, and now he's really been one of the best hitters on a fantastic team. And then coming up in third place for the MVP, it is Blake Nickerson. This Nickerson team, we thought maybe had some question marks going into the season. They've come off on a great start to the year. I believe a 9-2 record or something like that. And Blake has been the leader offensively, putting up big-time numbers. Bernie, no home runs yet for Blake, but we know those are going to come. He has hit for a lot of double power so far. But Blake, a consistent MVP caliber player. Give me your thoughts for the start of the season here for March, April for Blake Nickerson.
Yeah, I think that Nickerson's kind of played on some big fields. They were playing the first week out of Fenton on fields that, we've seen our 6U team play on, our 5U team on, my 4 teams played on before. So, and Blake's hit some balls that will go out of plenty of parks. Still clocking in with 5 doubles, 7 walks, just to 1 strikeout. And like you said, Nickerson, 9-2 hot start. This guy's been the leader of the offense.
Yeah, he has been. He's been a fantastic hitter so far. He's done it on the defensive side as well. He was a Platinum Glove candidate for this month also, and this Nickerson team has had several MVP caliber players. Some other guys who finished just outside of the top 3 for the MVP award. Camden Kraft has had a great start to the season for 12U Floyd. Kenny Douglas has been one of the best home run hitters so far in the Bears. He's been fantastic, and Cooper Woolen has been arguably the second best hitter for 13U Floyd, so some MVP runner-ups. Let's move on, Bernie, to Cy Young. And Bernie, we talked about this a little bit off the air. The pitching situation for the Bears right now is better than it's ever been. We were looking at some old Bears teams the other night, and you're looking at, Bernie, top Bear teams with 50-plus wins, and their strikeout-to-walk ratio as the team is about even. We were looking at KJ's team back in the day in 2018, the team he played on. They were a 55-win team, 55-23, a monster team, 290 strikeouts to 289 walks. I mean, this is a complete turnaround to what the Bears are in the pitching staff right now, really top to bottom. And we're going to talk about some guys with excellent strikeout-to-walk rates, starting with Owen Haynes. This guy has been one of the best pitchers in the Bears consistently the last couple of years. He's been a 100 strikeout pitcher in the regular season, and he's come out absolutely dominant so far in 2026, Bernie. Owen Haynes, the Cy Young for the March, April awards. Give me your thoughts on Owen Haynes, Bernie, and go ahead and lay on me his strikeout to walk rate.
Yeah, early in the year, he's been the leader of his pitching staff, been the guy to take the ball on Sundays. Clocking with 13 innings, he's at 21 strikeouts, but he's also averaging a strikeout looking per inning, if that says anything about the stuff he has. 1.6 ERA, but, in total, we're looking at 3 walks and 21 Ks, so that, absolutely dominant early in the year.
A 7-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio, 21 strikeouts already in March, April. He's on pace for over 100 Ks if he stays at this rate. Very, very impressive stuff. Not quite 2 strikeouts per inning, but like 1.6 strikeouts per inning. So if he throws 50 innings, he's already getting up to those high, near 100 marks. So very, very impressive stuff for Owen Haynes. Coming in at second place, Bernie, this is a guy who we've talked about for a long time, been a consistent strike thrower, always had pretty good walk numbers, but now the strikeouts are starting to go up, the ERA is starting to go down. Hunter Finley coming in second place here, I believe 3-1, maybe even better strikeout to walk rate with an ERA below 2.5. He's been very, very impressive so far, Bernie. What's been the evolution for Hunter Finley, how he's gone from being a guy who consistent 3 or 4 starter, trust him every week against bad teams, to now being one of the best pitchers in the organization?
Yeah, I think the thing with Hunter Finley is there's still a level to go. Like you said, in years past, he's been the strike thrower. And it seems like early in the year, as someone who's gotten to watch every single pitch Hunter's thrown this season, that he still can be better. Last year it was a strike thrower. This year, it seems like the stuff is 5 times better what it was in the fall. But he's been missing, big at times. And I think that, it's him coming out of his shell a little bit, stuff getting a little better than he's used to where when he's going to hone that back in, we're seeing him go even better. But for now, 11 innings, 14 strikeouts, just 4 walks with that 2.5 ERA that you said before.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. And Bernie, another guy who's no stranger to top 3 for the Cy Young, it's Owen Lewis. He's off to a great start. I believe 15 strikeouts to 1 walk. On the strikeout to walk side, he's been phenomenal. The ERA maybe a little bit higher than what we're used to with Owen Lewis, but you can't deny that the FIP, it's got to be near 0, Bernie. He's been fantastic on that side of the ball. But Owen Lewis, consistently a top 3 Cy Young type guy. Give me your thoughts on Owen Lewis' start to the 2026 season.
Yeah, sub-1 FIP for Owen Lewis, but early in the year, Owen Lewis is kind of known for his big curveball, and I think that early in the year we really focused on throwing the fastball for a strike, just filling it up early in the season, and he's pitched with some big leads to where we weren't using the off speed as well as we could have. He was kind of filling up with just fastballs, and he's been effective that way. Like you said, the ERA is a little bit higher than we used to, but I think that's due to pitching with a lead, throwing a lot of fastballs, but the curveball is still really good, still his best pitch, and that ERA will go very far down once that pitch comes out more.
Yeah, very, very impressive. Like I said, the pitching's been phenomenal, top to bottom in the Bears. Some other guys who are just outside the top 3. Peter Rojek has been absolutely dominant. Only 6 innings, and that's why he finds himself outside of the top 3. But in those 6 innings, he's been phenomenal on the mound for that Nickerson team. As well, Camden Kraft off to a nice start to the season. We wondered, how consistent is he going to be in the zone. When he's been in the zone, he's been absolutely dominant so far for 12U Floyd. And then Weeden Hainline. We know his kind of similar to Hunter Finley. One of the best strike throwers in the Bears, if not the best strike thrower in the Bears, and he's been able to get hitters out. His ERA is probably lower than what we've seen for Weeden Hainline. He's been very, very good so far. Very, very impressive stuff from the pitching staff. Moving on to the Rookie of the Month. Bernie, this is a guy we've talked about, former top 3 prospect, former Rookie of the Month in the fall, and he's still doing it in his first full season with the Bears. It's Brady Felton who's come out. He's been one of the top 3 or 4 hitters for 13U Floyd. Give me your thoughts on Brady Felton, our Rookie of the Month here in the first month of 2026.
Yeah, if you go back and watch old BBNs, I think this is something that was easily predictable by any coach out there. With the frame he came with, the athleticism that Brady has, just give him an off season in our program is what we kept saying, and we're seeing it now. This guy has the potential to lead the Bears in doubles at least this season. The combination of the power with how fast he is. Start off the year already looking like in 13 games, 8 extra bases. This guy's just going to continue to get better coming off his first offseason here.
Yeah, he's immediately thrown himself into the middle of that lineup, like you said. Bernie, 13 Floyd, I think, arguably been the best team, but definitely been the best offense in the Bears so far, and Brady Felton has been a big part of that. Coming in second place, I mentioned he is just outside the top 3 for the MVP, just outside the top 3 for the Cy Young. It's Camden Kraft in his first full season with the Bears still. This guy who, I think in the fall we saw flashes of being a really great player, and he's really starting to put it together, especially on the offensive side. This guy has gone from being a guy who will walk a ton, obviously he'll have for an okay average, to really starting to find himself hitting balls hard. The power's not quite there yet, but it will come, and the strikeout to walk ratio has been fantastic for Camden Kraft. This is a guy, Bernie, I think we know is a future star in the making, but he's been a real bright spot for 12U Floyd so far. Give me your thoughts on Camden Kraft.
Yeah, it looks like, this season he's came out a lot more aggressive, kind of taking on the Bears' mantra. But like you said, clocking in right now with just one double. That's the thing that if he can elevate, this guy will turn into an MVP candidate. 4 walks, just 3 Ks batting-wise. And look, pitching-wise, I know, this past Sunday, Kraft had a really rough outing. You still look at his season as a whole, he's only walked 8 batters, still has 15 Ks. You know the stuff's there with Kraft. So you're talking about a guy who could be one of the best two-way players in the Bears. 15 Ks in just 7 1/3 innings for him right now.
Yeah, and to give some context to his outing on Sunday, he actually closed the game for a win. I put him in with the bases loaded. He got out of that jam and then closed that game. Looked fantastic. Then a little bit of a break between games. I sent him back out there, and then he came out a little bit not as sharp as he normally is. So I'll take the blame for that one. Besides that, he's been phenomenal on the mound, and he finds himself top 3 for Rookie of the Month. Coming in third place, Bernie, I think we could have all predicted Brady Felton being top 3, and I think most people would have predicted Camden Kraft being top 3. Maybe the surprise here is Angel Ruiz, who started the season, Bernie, not even on the top team. Now, not only is he on the top team, but Rob was telling me just now, he's fighting for playing time. He's getting guys knocked out of the lineup to find a way to get Angel in there. He's been fantastic to start the year, especially defensively, and we know his hitting has really started to come along, and he's had some good outings on the mound as well, doing it all 3 sides of the ball. Give me your thoughts on Angel Ruiz, Bernie, maybe the surprise of the Rookie of the Month conversation.
Yeah, I think so far Angel has been the best possible version of a contact hitter who can play really good defense. He batted 600 Elkin, did not strike out a single at bat. Got called up to Floyd. Still has not struck out on the season, batting 400 for Floyd, batting 462 to be exact. Again, this guy's not struck out this season. He plays great defense. Again, the one area looking to improve is he does have 0 extra base hits right now for Floyd at least. Again, he's been an absolute beast as the contact defensive guy. But, when can he get in the gym? When can he get bigger? That's when he's going to really start to take off and, really start to challenge, the Feltons, the Owen Haynes for starting jobs.
Yeah, been very, very impressive stuff there from Angel Ruiz. Some other guys in the Rookie of the Year, or Rookie of the Month conversation, rather. Camden Kramer has come off in a nice start for 12U Floyd. Jacob Applehans has shown flashes of being a top-level player for that Burnstill team. And another guy in Braden DeRuse, who's come out with a very solid start to the season. Moving into the Platinum Glove Award, this goes to the Best Defender of the Month, and it's going to be Benny Wanner, who's been a lights-out shortstop. Bernie, we've talked about when we're talking about the Best Defender awards, usually the first place you go is shortstop, and I think Benny Wanner has been if not the best shortstop so far, been the most consistent shortstop in the Bears so far. Ben Bonchek, I think, has had moments where he's looked like unbelievable, but he's also had moments where he's made 2 errors in a game. Benny has not done that. He's made every easy play, including some very tough plays, and he comes out with the Fielder of the Month Platinum Glove Award for 12U Floyd. In second place, in third place, we got a couple second basemen who have been basically flawless so far. Again, I think you look at shortstop for the winner of this award, and then you kind of look at my second basemen, my center fielders, my catchers. Easton Taylor and Knox Kennedy have played second base and have been absolutely lights out. Easton Taylor has still not made an error on the season, and Knox Kennedy has made some, not only all the easy plays, but has also made some plays maybe he didn't deserve to make as well. Benny Wanner is the winner. Easton Taylor in second, Knox Kennedy in third. Give me your thoughts on the Platinum Glove Award race here for March and April.
Yeah, 3 great guys here. Benny, having a guy who can calm an entire 12U defense down, it's massive. If you're shortstop to make every play, your team, that makes your whole team just so good defensively. Really calms down that infield. I think everyone knows, at least if you're into the Bears a lot, that Easton Taylor's a good defender. This is a guy who's played plenty of shortstop, plenty of third base for Damien as well. If for some reason Blake had a pitch or, Blake's doing something else, you would lose very little putting Easton over there. Easton's great defensively. But Knox Kennedy, a guy who's played the outfield, played the infield, known as a bat-first guy. But if you watch practice every week, you see the throws this guy can make in the outfield or the plays he's made defensively in the infield. You know it's going to come eventually. And, all the hard work from the offseason for Knox seemed to, pay off now. And he's, not only just an offensive player, but he can play well on both sides of the ball.
We'll finish things off here with the March-April monthly All-Stars. Bernie, I'll run through these names. We've talked about most of these guys. I'm going to ask you about a couple guys we haven't quite talked about, but I'll run through all the names first. The April/March All-Stars: Rudy Montenegro Langley, Kenny Douglas, Connor Kennedy, Cooper Woolen, Brady Felton, Hamilton Case, Owen Haynes, Camden Kraft, Benny Wanner, Wyatt Geldmacher, Blake Nickerson, and Easton Taylor. Bernie, we've talked about a lot of these guys, but two guys we haven't talked about that I know you were super high on preseason, and they've come out the gates smoking hot, Bernie. That's Kenny Douglas, and that's Wyatt Geldmacher, have both come out mashing the baseball, both just outside the MVP race. Give me your thoughts on Kenny and Geldmacher, Bernie, off to great starts.
Yeah, Wyatt was a kid I got introduced to, the start of last winter when I started, being at these 11 practices. And this kid's just a flat-out great player. I know I said it before, he reminds me of a former Bears player that played first base. I think he would just go as that guy, if not better. This guy has real pop. He's a real middle-of-the-order hitter from Nickerson, and he's as legit as they come. And with Kenny, look, man, Kenny has taken full advantage of us being down a couple guys this year. I was just telling my team on Saturday that, even when everyone comes back, Kenny's not going to move out of 3-hole. And that's what I was looking for out of guys early in the year was, if I put you in a spot you're not used to, go out and earn that job even when everyone's back, right? And Kenny's done that. Kenny's already hit 2 home runs, just hit 100 in free swing tonight. But this guy is, solidified himself as a top 3 hitter on the roster right now.
Yeah, he's become one of the best players of the entire organization. Very, very impressive stuff from Kenny Douglas. Bernie, I would say we've got 12 names here. I think you can make an argument that 11 of them we probably could have predicted. Definitely you're talking about the Benny Wanners, the Blake Nickersons, the Cooper Woolens. We predicted those guys. I would say the one guy, Bernie, who stands out as maybe the surprise is Connor Kennedy, who we've known what he can do on the mound, especially out of the bullpen. We know what he can do defensively. He can play all over the place. We were just doing, we were playing a little trivia the other night, Bernie, and he's played like 10 innings at 8 of the positions on the field in the last couple years. But what he's done this year with the bat, he's really elevated himself. I think you can make an argument he's been the 3rd best Burnsville hitter so far. Give me your thoughts on Bernie. Connor Kennedy, who's really taken his game to the next level. Probably the most surprising all-star for me.
Yeah, Connor, again, this guy who started the year, in the 7 or 8 hole, give or take. Last year spent a lot of time like the 8 or 9 hole as a good, defensive player. And I think last year with Connor, you saw the approach that you wanted to see. He was swinging at strikes, he was taking balls, laying off speed, going after fastballs. He was just swinging and missing a lot. He was pulling his head. He was just a tick off a little bit. And this guy really committed himself to becoming a legit hitter this year. Of course, the offseason free swing. I know he's worked a lot with Damian. I'd give Damian a ton of credit for that. But, he's came out and now you're seeing that approach combined with him now making contact. And he's always been a big kid who swings hard. And now you're starting to see this really start to pay off right now to where he went up to the 5-hole last weekend. And now he has his run of chance where he's going to get the chance in the 5-hole for the next couple weeks to see what he can do with it.
Yeah, very, very impressive stuff. I think this is a guy who we'll see if he can keep putting himself on these all-star lists, but certainly the weakest part of his game has looked like one of his strengths so far in the season. Very, very impressive stuff. That's going to do it for this episode of BBN After Dark. We'll talk to y'all next time.